Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. All right, man. Great video by Too Raw for Sports, Too Raw for TV. Check out both his channels. And he put out a great video in regards to one Russell Westbrook. And I'm going to piggyback off what he said. But if you listen to my videos in the past, I've said this. And it wasn't me criticizing Russell Westbrook. It's me basically telling the truth. And history shows that I've been telling the truth about Russell Westbrook. You can't win with Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard or whatever he is. I've said this on several occasions. I've never considered Russell Westbrook a point guard. I always thought that Russell Westbrook was a two guard trying to play point guard. I never thought point guard was his natural position. Just like when you look at Stephen Curry, Stephen Curry at times plays like a point guard, but he scores like a two guard. So I've never really considered Stephen Curry a natural point guard. I consider him like somewhere in between. He's more close to a two than he is a one. I consider him a 1 3/4. So, that's leading more towards that's leading more towards a two guard than a point guard. So, but getting back to Russell Westbrook, in his 14-year career, you look at some of the people Russell Westbrook has played with. Russell Westbrook has played, if not with first ballot Hall of Famers and Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony, he's played with borderline Hall of Famers and great players. And it doesn't translate. That's just who I can think of off the top. I don't feel like looking to see who all Russell Westbrook has played with, but nevertheless, it doesn't translate to championships. That's just fact about him. I said this last year. I think another thing Russell Westbrook should consider doing is becoming a sixth man, going somewhere and becoming a sixth man where he comes off the bench and, provides a little bit of offense, because Russell Westbrook is an inconsistent shooter. His percentages is not really that good. He can slash and get to the basket at times. Serviceable free throw shooter, not the best. He has over 20,000 points scored, league MVP. I think Russell Westbrook is going to get into the Hall of Fame, but you look at what has happened with his career. Kevin Durant couldn't wait to get out of Oklahoma City. He goes to the Golden State Warriors, wins instantly. And I think if he had stayed with the Warriors, I think Kevin Durant could arguably have possibly 3 or 4 rings. And who knows? There's plenty of basketball left to be played. If something doesn't change, with Kyrie Irving or whatever the case may be, then who knows? So, like I said before, I've looked at Russell Westbrook over the years. Russell Westbrook was drafted number 4 overall in the 2008 draft out of UCLA. And like I said, I was surprised Russell Westbrook went as high as he did in the draft. That's what was the crazy part about it, because he didn't play. He didn't. I saw him play a bit at UCLA. So I was just surprised he went as high as he did. Now, his NBA career, he's had a decent NBA career. He's made a lot of money, but his play doesn't translate into championships because of his erratic play, his decision making. And we've seen this over a course of 14 seasons. So we know what Russell Westbrook is. He isn't a guy that gets you to the next level. And it's been proven time and time again. He got to the finals, but he couldn't get it done. He got to the Western Conference Finals a couple of times where he played on a team that blew a 3-1 lead to the Golden State Warriors. Basically had them on the ropes, knocked them down. And the Warriors was trying to make a 10 count. And the Warriors got up and prevailed and won the series, even though the Warriors Didn't win the championship that year, but at the end of the day, they blew that series. I really think Russell Westbrook should go somewhere and consider being a sixth man. Because as far as him handling the ball, being a decision maker, you know, it just hasn't worked. Hasn't translated into rings. I mean, this is why Russell Westbrook is now on his 15? Let me see. Oklahoma, Houston, Washington. Okay. Yeah, he's on his fourth team. But that's what I'm saying. And he's moved around. He's been on and he's on his third team in 3 years. So he's went from Houston to Washington to Los Angeles. So that shows you, that just shows you that teams, after a while, they look at this dude's play and be like, hey, we can't win with this guy. And it's not a knock on him, but it's just the truth. There are just some people who just don't translate into championships, into rings. I think if he went somewhere, like I said, and he decided to become a sixth man or come off the bench, I think that would help him. And I think he could go somewhere where he could be a contributor based off a person that you're relying on. And this is just my honest opinion. Some people gonna say, hey, hell no. But that's okay. I'm just giving my opinion. I've seen this with Russell Westbrook over the course of 14 seasons. You can't win a ring with him. Not as your starting point guard. This is just fact. And if you look at, LeBron is trying to cover for him and saying, hey, he stands by Russell Westbrook. In other words, that means he's going to management saying we got to get rid of this dude. And it would not surprise me if Russell Westbrook is moved before the trading deadline. Now, where Russell Westbrook is headed, that remains a mystery. Like I said, and it was so funny about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, you actually had this discussion where some people said they would trade Stephen Curry for Russell Westbrook. And I was like, hell no. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. There ain't too many people that I would trade Stephen Curry for. I'm just keeping it a buck. There ain't too many people right now that I would trade Stephen Curry for. Yes, I said it. Now, I'm going to get to this article that I think Clutch Sports made, where they was basically caping for LeBron, where they just came up with an article that was just so asinine. But I'm just telling the truth. This is just real talk. This needed to be said. Anyway, this your boy Town Biz. I'm out.